Welcome once again to Lehto's Law. Here's Steve Lehto.
I got a note from someone in Finland. It said, "Greetings from Finland. Check out this story." And so it's Tenli who sent me that, and I'm not quite accenting that just right, but I'm close. Police officers are starting to use AI chatbots to write their crime reports. Will they hold up in court? The Associated Press wrote the story. Sean Murphy and Matt O'Brien wrote it. And the sub should be, "What could possibly go wrong?" A body camera captured every word and bark uttered as police sergeants and a canine dog searched for a group of suspects for nearly an hour. Normally, the Oklahoma City police sergeant would have then grabbed his laptop and spent about 30 to 45 minutes writing up a report about his search, but this time he let AI write the first draft. And the AI actually worked off of sounds and radio chatter picked up by the microphone attached to his body camera. And the AI tool kicked out a report in 8 seconds. 8 seconds. And he says, it was a better report than I could have ever written. It was 100% accurate. It flowed better. And there, of course, I'm quoting the sergeant, not the dog. He says, it even documented a fact he didn't remember hearing. Another officer's mention of the color of the car the suspects ran from. So the police department there is one of a handful experimenting with AI to produce the first drafts of incident reports. Police officers who've tried it are enthused about the time-saving technology, while prosecutors and police watchdogs and legal scholars and guys on YouTube have concerns about how it could alter a fundamental document in the criminal justice system that does play a role in who gets prosecuted or imprisoned. And you can imagine the cross-examination when the guy is reading from his police report and the attorney says, "Okay, this sentence here, did you draft that?" "Well, no, AI drafted that." "Okay." As you go through it, I guarantee you're going to find something written in a way that the officer wouldn't have written that, and then you're going to get the old, "Well, I didn't write that, AI did." Who signed the report? Did the AI sign the report? It's using the same technology as ChatGPT. It's sold by a company that also developed the Taser and is the dominant U.S. supplier of body cams. It could become what is being described as a game changer for police work. So the founder and CEO of the company describes the product as Draft One, and it's the most positive reaction of any product the company has introduced. He said they become police officers because they want to do police work, and spending half their day doing data entry is just the tedious part of the job that they hate. Now, there's certainly concerns, he said. In particular, he said district attorneys prosecuting a criminal case want to be sure that police officers are responsible for authoring their reports because they may have to testify in court about what they witnessed. And again, I don't do a lot of defense work anymore. I used to, but I don't anymore. I know guys, that's all they do. And right now, they are popping champagne corks. They are celebrating where there's the party just started, because it's going to be so much fun to cross-examine officers on this. So the guy from the company here says they never want to get an officer on the stand who says, "Well, the AI wrote that, I didn't." But you know what's going to happen? I know what's going to happen. So the AI technology is not new to police agencies. They've already adopted algorithmic tools to read license plates, recognize suspects' faces, detect the sounds of weapons being fired, and predict where crimes might occur. Many of those applications have come with privacy and civil rights concerns and attempts by legislators to set safeguards. But the introduction of AI-generated police reports is so new that there are few, if any, guardrails in place. Concerns about various things that could go wrong are out there. Activists find this deeply troubling, and so the tool has been used in other places, but police officials showed it to the local prosecutors in Oklahoma City, and they decided they're not going to use it on high-stakes criminal cases. For now, it's only used for minor incident reports that don't lead to someone getting arrested. So, no arrests, no felonies, no violent crimes. That is a police captain talking. Now, another city in Indiana, Lafayette, where the police chief told the AP that all of his officers can use it on any kind of case, and it's been incredibly popular since they started using it earlier this year. But the question is, yeah, writing reports makes it seem real easy. Do they stand up in court? That's the question. In Fort Collins, Colorado, a police sergeant there said officers are free to use it on any type of report, though they discovered it doesn't work well on patrols of the city's downtown bar district because of the overwhelming amount of noise. And so I am just a little worried about the fact that the AI is working off the sounds recorded by the stuff that the officers are wearing. Apparently, they tried it once, also letting it process what the camera was seeing, but they don't have the technology yet to do that where it's terribly accurate. The problem I have with it recording what's happening is, how does it know who's talking again? So a police officer walks up to three people and starts asking questions. And then another police officer walks up. I understand that you say, well, Steve, but the camera on this guy would indicate that it would know who he is or she is, and same over here. But people come and go. And I've seen transcriptions made by machines of people like me who talk too fast, where they occasionally get words wrong. I've had humans listening to me misquote me and say, you said this. And I go back and watch the video. No, that's not what I said. And I quote it back and I'm like, oh, to me it sounded like you said this. Now, understand, humans can make that exact same mistake. But my point simply is that if a police officer walks up to a group of people who's talking to them and then later asks this tool to draft his report for him, and it says, well, this person said this person said this, is it going to be as accurate as the officer would have been if he went back and watched the tape and tried to reconstruct the events that way? But I'm just telling you right now, there is going to be a case popping up in one of these cities where a police officer who's in a hurry tells it to write the report because he wants to get out of there in 8 seconds, and it kicks out a report in 8 seconds. He skims over it. Looks pretty good. Signs his name to it and files it. And 6 months later, the defendant's hired a fancy pants attorney who's gone through that report line by line and found things in there that somehow don't quite match up with the body-worn camera. And so remember, the body-worn camera is recording everything that happens. The report's being based off the audio as interpreted by the tool. And you're going to get a smart attorney going, hey, let's watch this videotape. Okay, what happened right here? Okay, that's what happened right there. Let's go to your report. Isn't it true your report says this happened? And yet we just saw it with our own eyes. That's what happened, not this, that. Assume that this and that are two different things. Oh, well, that's how the AI interpreted it. I'm sorry. Who signed this report again? Oh, no, you signed it. And who made the mistake? Said it before, legal documents that you sign and file with the court. Police officer signs and files with the file, and it gets turned over to the defense as part of discovery. Officer's signatures on it. That's who we cross-examine. We don't cross-examine the AI. And if the AI makes a mistake. And so my concern is, and don't get me wrong, cops have very difficult jobs. And I've heard, since before I was an attorney, the part of the job they don't like the most is the desk work, the paperwork, the reports, writing stuff. Are you fighting crime? Well, yeah, you are. It involves a lot of paperwork. Of course. And you're going to get people who are in a hurry skimming these things and signing it going, well, what's the worst that could happen? And you hope it's accurate. And so I don't doubt that somewhere down the road this stuff might get wildly accurate, scary accurate. I'm already shocked by what ChatGPT can do. I am. But here you're asking a program to interpret multiple voices as recorded off a body-worn device. And how accurate is that going to be, and how will it stand up in court? Because don't get me wrong, I want the cops to be able to arrest the bad guys, and I want them to be able to convict the bad guys if, in fact, they're guilty. And I don't want them getting off because a program not quite ready for prime time was unveiled and saved a whole bunch of time but also cut some corners that officers then signed and filed and caused the case to fall apart later in court. So that's what could happen, but we'll see. We'll see. But I think one of the safest predictions that I've ever made in my life, I'm going to make right now. There's going to be a case within a year that we're going to hear where one of these reports written by a chatbot screwed up a case. And I'm confident that will be in the news. It will hit the news. We're going to hear about it. We're going to be able to say, we told you so. Now, you might say, but Steve, suppose that so much time is saved by drafting these reports that instead of spending half their shift at a desk filling out reports, they can spend 4/5 of their time out fighting crime and just a fraction writing the reports. Maybe that would be a net benefit for society. That's possible. That's possible. As long as you're willing to say, but it could result in a couple guilty people getting off because of errors in the reports. But hey, they were still out policing more. That's a possibility, and I'll give you that. But I am convinced there's going to be a case hitting the news within 1 year, and it's going to be a chatbot report signed by a police officer fell apart during the prosecution and allowed a defendant to walk free. I'm just predicting that. I'm not saying it's a good thing or a bad thing. I'm simply predicting it, okay? So everybody who sent me the story, thank you very much. Among them, from Finland, Tenley, and Sean Murphy and Matt O'Brien wrote that for the Associated Press. Police officers are starting to use AI chatbots to write crime reports. Will they hold up in court? And what could possibly go wrong? Questions or comments, put them below this. Talk to you later. Bye-bye.
Thank you for watching Lehto's Law. To continue, you will need to insert another quarter.